Hi there, I'm Catalina Neri, and this is my informative speech on the impacts of social media on American society. So, social media has become a big part of our everyday lives. I mean, it's crazy how social media has it's a part of my everyday routine, and maybe it's part of yours too, and that's okay. Because especially in American society today, I mean, social media is used in everything that we do, and it literally keeps track of life and everything that's going on. And although that may be scary sometimes, it's a good thing that we have social media because it just expands and it opens so many ways of communication for us. Like I said, it's a form of communication. I mean, it plays a big part of who we are as people, and it plays a big part on the image that we put out there into the world. I mean, creating a simple Instagram profile, you're opening the doors of social media into your life, and you have to be careful with what you put out there, but, it's kind of something that everybody in America does now, creating an Instagram profile, a Facebook profile, TikTok, and it's kind of starting to become a norm, and that's okay. But at the same time, we have to think about the good things and the bad things of having social media in our society today. So what is social media? So social media is used everywhere today, and those apps that you go into daily to check, like your Instagram feed or your Snapchat stories and your Twitter feed and YouTube videos or Facebook, all of those platforms, they are all prime examples of social media in today's world. With a simple click of a follow button, you can instantly get to know somebody and make a friend from the other side of the country and know a little bit about their background story. You can, on Facebook profile, you can kind of see where the person is from, what school they've been to, etc. It's scary because, other people can know that information about you, information that should be private, but at the same time, it's kind of fun to be able to make new friends like that. Like, you can just expand your ways of communication and just be friends with whoever you want, but at the same time, you have to be very careful. I learned a little bit about everything going on in the world through social media. That's how I like to stay involved and how I stay informed is by going on social media because, like my Instagram feed, whenever I go on there, you can kind of see what's going on. Like it brings up like politics and government issues and, COVID and, all these other things going on in the world. Social media is kind of a source of everything going on, and it puts it all in one big, you know, like area, and you can go on there and check it at any time. And that's kind of amazing because I think that's one of the greatest things about social media is you can do so much, you can learn so much, and yeah. So these platforms, they allow you to communicate wherever, it consists of sharing, liking, commenting, and exchanging information. Just be careful with what you exchange through social media. So the first impact of social media I want to talk about is that you have engagement to anyone around the world. I mean, you can engage with anyone across the country, in your state, in your town, you can engage in community. I like to follow like my community pages like Samson Weekly, they have a Facebook page, or the Samson District Union District, which is where I'm from. They have these pages, and basically they'll keep you updated with everything going on in there, anything like festivals or like, important things that we need to know and start prepping for, these these social media pages of those communities, they provide all this information. And personally, I like to use social media to stay involved and, learn things and just make sure that I know everything of what's going on around me. It has been described as being a great tool of engagement. And honestly, it's true because, yeah, like you can go on social media and engage with whoever, whatever you want. And, it's an open world there. Um, One of the examples that I personally like to use is that I can literally communicate with my family that's in New York and Virginia. I can communicate with them at any time through social media with a simple click of a button on Snapchat, start texting them, checking up on them. That is one of the greatest things about social media today. The second impact of social media I like to talk about is spreading awareness. Social media is a great tool to spread awareness. I constantly see, people are spreading the word about, politics and women's rights and abortion, especially like things that are coming up, like, that are not old, or like things that are coming up again that happened in the past and are happening again. People like to wear awareness, and that's one thing social media does good, is spreading awareness. For example, reposting what's going on with women's rights, sorry. That's using social media to spread awareness. And honestly, if you're doing it the right way, it's safe. Although social media has its good impacts, it also has its negative impacts. Things that a lot of people tend to forget. Personally, I do tend to forget that social media can be dangerous. Although it can be a great tool of engagement and communication, it has become so powerful that it can literally cause mental damage to an individual. And it's scary because, you don't want to hurt somebody, especially through social media, but it happens a lot. For example, cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is something that, we all have to be aware of and have to help try and decrease it, because it can lead to somebody committing suicide, and that's the scary part. But social media, it has just become so powerful like that it can literally hurt somebody's image. That's why you have to be careful with what you put out there. It also means that there's less in-person contact, and that's kind of sad because we've came so far and we can communicate in person, and social media is kind of taking that away. But if you limit yourself to the amount of screen time you have, you can control that, and you have a better chance of being able to communicate in person rather than through a screen. So that is it for my slides, and I hope you enjoyed, and thank you. And just remember to stay safe out there in social media. Be careful with what you post, and yeah, but at the same time enjoy, because it is a great tool of engagement. And personally, I'm going to work on limiting myself on social media. And here are my sources. Thank you.